Welcome to the House of Maths. Today we're going to have a look at trigonometry, right angle triangle. So I like to start with this by writing down SOHCAHTOA. Now you're going to use this little acronym to work out sides and angles of the right angle triangle. Now I've written it in a particular way like this, and I'll explain why that is a little bit later on. But first, here's a right angle triangle. Okay, so it's got the right angle here, and I'm going to put an angle over here. Just going to call it a general angle, theta. Okay, so how do we label this triangle in relation to that angle? Now, the longest side is this side here. It's the one opposite the right angle. So this is the longest side, and this one is the hypotenuse. Now the one here, angle here, the side next to the angle is the adjacent. Adjacent basically means next to, and it's next to the angle. Over here, opposite the angle, we have the opposite. So that's how we label a triangle. Now, if the triangle is orientated in a different way, for example, like this, with the right angle here and the angle up here, we still use the same method to label it that we've done here. So the side opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse, I'll call that H. The side next to the angle that we've identified, theta here, is the adjacent, and the side opposite the angle over here is the opposite. So we can label the triangle no matter how it's orientated. We can label it in that way. Okay, so once we've labelled it, what do we do next? Okay, we're going to use this idea up here, this acronym SOHCAHTOA. So how does it work? Okay, so the first bit, the SO, that is going to be sine theta. So the sine of this angle equals O over H. And I've written it like that so you can see the O is above the H. So it'll help you remember that sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine theta equals the adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan theta equals the opposite over the adjacent. So we can label our triangle and we can work out sine, cosine, tangent, and we can work out the lengths of the sides as well, so long as we're given enough information. So let's have a look at a question that we would answer using this idea. Okay, so we're using a right angle triangle. Let's say we're given an angle here of 30 degrees, and we're given a length here of, let's say, 10 centimetres, and we're asked to find this side over here. Now, what are we going to use? So we're going to use SO, CA, or TOA. We've got to make up our mind which one of those we're going to use. And we do that by looking at what we've got in the triangle. Okay, so we've got an angle. We're given the angle 30 degrees. So that could be a sine, a cosine, or a tangent. We're given the hypotenuse, the longest side. So that's an H. And we want to find the bit opposite the angle. So we've got an angle, a hypotenuse, and an opposite. Those are what we're interested in. Now, the one we haven't got is the adjacent. We don't want to find that. We're not asked to find that, and we've not been given it, so we don't need to know anything about the A. So one of the ways to work out which one of these three to use, that bit, or that bit, is to look at your triangle, see what you've got, and see what you don't need. Well, we don't need the A, so this one's got an A in, so we don't want to use that one. This one's got an A in, so we don't want to use that one either. So the one we want to use is the SOP bit. So that's the sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. So I'd start by writing down the formula that you're going to use and then put the numbers in it that you've got. Okay, so we've got 30, so we've got sine 30 equals opposite, well that's the x that we're looking for, divided by the hypotenuse, well that's the 10. Okay, so sine 30 equals x over 10. So we can rearrange that. If we multiply both sides by 10, we will end up with x equals 10 times sine 30. Now, what is sine 30? If you go onto your calculator, and you need to make sure that your calculator is in degrees, not radians, and then you can work this out. So 10 times, now if you put sine 30 in your calculator and press equals, you're going to get a half. So x equals 10 times a half, which equals 5. And we're working in centimetres, so 5 centimetres. So that's how we would solve that problem. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, here's our triangle. Given an angle up here of 50 degrees, and we've got a length here of 5 centimetres, and we want to find that length over there, x. So what have we got? Again, we've got an angle, we've got an adjacent, and we've got an opposite. What we haven't got is the hypotenuse, and we're not trying to find the hypotenuse. So we don't want to know the h. So this one here has got an h in, we don't want to use that. This one here has got an h in, we don't want to use that. So that's the one we're going to use, the tangent. So we've got tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. Start with your formula and then put the numbers in that you've got. So we've got the angle, so tan 50 equals opposite, or we've not got that, that's what we're after, that's the x, and we've got the adjacent, which is 5. So if we multiply through both sides, or multiply both sides by 5, we're going to get x equals 5 times tan 50. Again, you're going to put tan 50 into your calculator. So you grab your calculator, turn it on, and you do tan 50 equals, and you're going to get 1.2 roughly. So you're going to get 5 times 1.2. A few more digits. Don't round that up yet. Do this calculation first. So I'm going to multiply that by 5, and I'm going to get 5.958. Let's say 5.96 centimetres. Okay, so there's another example for you of using the formula. Next time I'm going to look at working out angles. If we've not been given the angle, I'll show you how to find the angle. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please click like and subscribe. More content coming soon.